introducing our judge, Mr. Isaac, who is one of our members at Amani Club. And I will lay the rules and formalities of deciding who is opposing and who is opposing before I hand over the mantle to the judge to take over so that we kick off our debate. So as usual, we are going to have 3 speakers each. That is the first opposer, second opposer, third proposer, second proposer, then we will have replay speeches starting with the opposition, then summing up with the proposition. Each speaker is given 5 minutes, and the first minute and the first 2 minutes and the last 1 minute are protected. In between, you point of information. Then we are going to give us a side that you think you will do, and then we'll ask if St. Peter's and Koyonzo are okay with it. If they won't be okay, I will be forced to toss the coin. So, which side will you want to be?
Opposition.
Opposition. Thank you. And now mute. Koyonzo boys.
Opposition.
Okay, opposition. So with me is a coin, and I want to toss the coin. So now that we gave the ladies an opportunity to say which side they wanted to be, this time I want to give the boys an opportunity to say if they want to pick either side of the coin.
Pardon?
I want you to pick either side of the coin so that we toss the coin, and then the side that will be picked will be the ones who will decide which side they are on.
We pick head. Koyonzo head.
Koyonzo head. So Koyonzo have picked the head. So I will put on my camera so that I toss the coin as we all see. So Koyonzo had picked the heads. We are now tossing the coin. So the tails have it, which means the ladies will decide which side they are going to debate from. Opposition. Thank you. You can now, I can now hand over to the judge, Mr. Isaac. We have Musoli girls, Koyonzo boys proposing the motion and Musoli girls opposing the motion. So we are giving you a minute of preparation before the judge kicks off at exactly 16:37. We are beginning our motion, and the first speaker, that is from Koyonzo boys, get ready. Musoli girls, for you to understand or for you to get what your opponents will be saying, you will keep your mic muted, and when it is your turn to speak, you will unmute it and speak. But when you're not speaking, kindly, everybody who is in the forum, let us keep our mics muted.
Blood, they say, is thicker than water. Not my words, but the words of the famous speaker. Honorable Judge, the affirmative side and the negative side, I salute you all. I'm here to strongly propose the motion that states this House is the opinion that East African citizens be allowed to move from one country to another without restriction. Why am I saying so? First, let me start by defining the motion. Restrictions refers to a rule or law that limits what you can do or what can happen. Opinion simply refers to your feelings or thoughts about somebody, something, or rather than fact. Citizen is a person who is a member of a particular country and who has rights because he is born there. Okay, and to my point, if we allow citizens to move from one country to another without restriction, it will help improve, it will be a source of foreign exchange to many countries, such as, for example, if you allow citizens from Uganda come into Kenya, the fact is that there will be some imposing of taxes, which will help us in earning the foreign exchange. The second point is, it will help in promoting unity. As we all know, unity cannot be there if we are restricting each other from doing something. So if only these countries can come up together, sit down, convene, and do away with these restrictions, it will help in promoting unity. And this unity will also be it will also build in various ways. Also in pursuit for further education. Like we all know that there are countries which are well known for, which have, let me use they are of Ivy League. So if a Kenyan student, after pursuing the university level of education in Kenya, can go to a country such as Rwanda, Burundi, or the latest joining the East African Community, Congo, to go and study. Also, it will help improve in trade. Also, it will improve our own culture. We can be able to adopt their culture and skills. For example, we all know that Kenyans, we are still a third world countries, which means that we are still developing. So if we can gain some knowledge and skills from other countries easily, because there will be no restrictions, so that will be an easy way to go out there and gain knowledge, come back with it and start it from there. Only we remove the restriction, it will help improve economy in such a way that it will help improve the economy, and also
Was the first speaker through? Hello? Koyonzo boys? Mr. Isaac, can you kindly take over?
I think you have been asked the judge is speaking. He has not unmuted his mic. Please unmute your mic.
Kindly, Mr. Mrimi, unmute your mic.
Where
Yeah, it's
Koyonzo
good now, I
boys?
think. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Isaac. I was just asking.
Yes, sir.
I was asking
So I
where
think Koyonzo
Koyonzo had
boys
gone
have done
to.
their presentation.
Uh-huh.
I think they have done their presentation, but they have disappeared.
Okay, we now
Hello.
move to the first speaker. We move to the first speaker, opposition.
Thank you. I am a soldier of the truth. I am a soldier for the unheard, and I am a soldier for the voiceless. Thank you, Judge, for granting me this golden opportunity to strongly oppose the motion that states this House is the opinion that East African citizens to be allowed to move from one country to another without restrictions. The East African citizens are residents from the member states of Eastern African Community, comprised of the Ugandans, Kenyans, Tanzanians, Burundis, the Rwandese, and the Congolese. It was established through a treaty signed in Arusha, Tanzania on 30th November 1999. This treaty entered into force on July 7th, 2000. Following conclusions in the process of ratification with the Secretary General by the three partner states there. The EAC was created to facilitate free movement of people, goods, services, and that. So why do I oppose this motion? And to my first point, restrictions will lead to pressure of population of land. We'll have to struggle for people to be accommodated into one country. So let us put restrictions that we can be, our land can be enough for people to stay in. Low capital income, burdens of unproductive consumers, overcrowding and limited resources, unemployment and poverty, environment degradation, poor quality of life, bad habits, and disasters. Our first opponent say that these people bring us cultures. Remember, people are from different backgrounds. What if they bring us bad cultures? For example, of FGM, for examples of the LGBTQ. Let us put restrictions so that we can know that how these people are grown, their background information, so that we can allow these people to come into our countries. To avoid cyclical migration and people not to be accountable for their residence, creates domestic instability and increases moral decadence. There will be depletion of labor, where different remuneration schemes may be profited to brain drain. It leads to hoarding and importation of goods at lower prices. Political instability, and where elections would be fair. I'll give an instance where this person maybe who lives at the border of Kenya and Tanzania, this person will have two IDs, one for Tanzania and one for Kenya. So do you imagine this? We Kenyans, we are targeting for our leader that we know. Then this Tanzanian person will come and the votes will be masquerade. This person will vote for a person we did not intend to put. So we must put restrictions to know these people and for voting to be fair. There will be terrorism, crime, importation of weapons, radicalization, an example of the recruitment of Al-Shabaab. Diseases. Remember, you're just recovering from the COVID-19, and we do not want another disease to come to us. Remember, once bitten, twice shy. We don't want something that will make us suffer more. COVID-19 has made our economy to go down, and we are really suffering. We are just trying to recover from it. So imagine if we put our legs into that same shoe that we came through. What will we go through again? Emerging of interstate and interstate conflicts. An example of, you all know His Honorable, the President of Uganda, Museveni. You remember a report there soon when his son said that it can take him hours to finish Kenya. So this led to a conflict between Kenya and Uganda. So if we don't put restrictions, how are we going to solve these issues of interstates and interstate conflicts? So please just go down, sit down, and understand what you're talking about before proposing this motion and saying that you want free and fair movement of Eastern African citizens. It downplays patriotism to individuals.
Yes, Musoli, guys, your time is over.
Point of information.
Thank you. No, it's denied. When I said it downplays patriotism, I mean that people will not be patriotic to their individual countries because they belong to the East African community as a whole. So please, and please just make sure you know what you're going to say. You know, ignorance is not a defense, even if you are misinformed. And I would like to enlighten you people more. that putting restrictions is the way to go. And I wish to rest my case. Thank you.
Koyonzo boys, yes, please. The floor is yours now. Koyonzo boys.
Thank you, Mr. Judge, for the golden opportunity. I would like to say that.
Yes, Koyonzo boys, 5 minutes.
This house is of the opinion that East African citizens be allowed to move from one country to another without restriction. As I have just said that this house supports the motion, I would like to say that children, when they are born, they are given education. They are given medication. You see, if the borders were not restricted, we would have been going to Uganda freely to acquire health facilities that might have not been in Kenya. Education. Why say education? Although Kenya has a good and has the best tutors in education, I would like to say that those yearning to pursue in higher education ought to go to another countries. But when there is restrictions, this limits their dreams. I go on to my second point, economics. I would like to say that when they open up the borders, we earn a foreign exchange. Why do I say this? You see, our commonly known as Mamamboga at the borderline is able to go and grow and sell from the other country without restrictions. This makes her earn the foreign currency. And when he comes back, this lady denied. I would like to say that this lady will go to the bank. Denied. I would like to say that denied. I would like to say that accepted.
You have said that you're going to Uganda to get treatment. What do you think they're going to Uganda getting treatment? We're 2 years academically in front of Uganda and Tanzania. What are we going to gain in Uganda? We are facing future.
Assuming we are in Uganda and not in Kenya, we would have been getting, where would we have been getting the imports? Remember, Uganda is a landlocked country. So when we open up the borders, we have a higher chance getting the foreign currency. I would also like to say that exchange of culture has benefited greatly our culture. Why say this? There's something that we didn't know. Now we know, thanks to the foreign culture. I would like also to say that due to the bond of the East African countries, recently, the Kenyan soldiers have been sent to DR Congo, restricting the border and avoiding them from coming on our side. It's like creating an enmity. Okay. I would also like to say that when they are free to come into our country, they are able to escape from threats and internal conflict. I'll give a known example. The Bantus. We are in Wangaland. We settled here because we had no restrictions from where we were. So I would like to tell you that supporting the motion is the best thing to do.
Koyonzo
Thank
boys,
you.
you have some few minutes, Koyonzo boys. Some few seconds, I mean, around that seconds. Thank you. Yeah, Musoli guys, Kaidri. 5 minutes. It's your turn. Musoli guys.
Intelligence. If intelligence was a cup of tea, I could offer my opponent one. Literacy does not have limits. Mercy, Judge, for giving me such a great opportunity to oppose the motion that says East Africa citizens be allowed to move from one country to another without restrictions. And to my very first point, pressure of population on land. Why am I saying this? For example, over the last 5 decades, the population of India increased from 108.9 million to 1 billion in 2022. Correspondingly, the labor force engaged in agricultural has increased. According to the World Development Record, 64% of labor force is engaged in agricultural operation. India is not part of East Africa. I am aware of that. The way Swahili men say, ukiona cha mwenzako chanyolewa, chako pia kitie maji. Now let us come to our own situation here. As what the opponents are trying to say that we should allow movement without restriction. Thank you for your opinions, but I would rather remind you that not all opinions are worth it. Remember that when we allow the citizens to move from one country to another, they will move to countries that they wished for a very long time. Remember that those citizens, that country that they're going to live in, have their own patriotic citizens. What will happen? Yes, it will lead to overcrowding. This will put more pressure on land. As a result, the average size of holdings will be reduced from 0 to 0.23 hectares, according to my genius calculation of my genius brains. And to my very second point, low per capita income. During 2017 to date, the growth rate of net national product at factor cost has been 1% per annum. But initially, the average growth rate of population has been 2.2%. Over this period, the slow growth rate of per capita income has been the result of high growth rates of population. Let us not behave like imbeciles. People who have low level of intelligence, yet they look so high in intelligence, like my fellow opponents. My third point, low per capita availability of essential articles. The per capita net availability of articles of consumption will be very little. Why am I saying this? The supply of some of these articles will be maintained through domestic production or even imports. The per capita availability will be low due to the rapid growth of population. What do you expect when we allow countries like Tanzania to break into our country? What do you expect? The growth population will increase, and therefore the articles that are going to be allowed will be low. Employment of poverty, unemployment and poverty, pardon me. If we follow what our opponents are trying to tell us, do you think that you're going to be who we are today? Tell me, do you? No. This will lead to increase unemployment of poverty. Why am I saying this again? This can be particularly problematic. Denied.
Information.
Countries where job opportunities are already limited. Take a look at Kenya in Mumias. You'll find that Uganda people are the most dominated people in Mumias. Like Kenya, we have high percentage of unemployment.
Point of information.
Accepted.
Okay, you have mentioned that there is no need for removing the restrictions because we are agriculturally fit. But recently, we have seen our very own country, Kenya, importing food from other countries because we are not able to, we do not have adequate. So what do you mean we have adequate? We need these restrictions to be removed in order to get this food back. Okay, you also mentioned about
Remember, we are talking about India. That was an example of India. Please be careful on listening to what I'm saying.
We are speaking about East Africa, not India. Please try come back to the motion. You're going out of topic. And also, you talk about pressure.
My time. Take a look at what is happening in Kenya and Tanzania, where they have agreed to strengthen border security through cooperation and out of transboundary crime, including human drug trafficking. What do you expect? Like, seriously? Tanzania's president, Her Excellency, President Samia Suluhu, said, we have agreed to enhance the cooperation that exists between our security agencies so that we can share information, strategies, and be able to deal with this challenge to secure our countries and region. His Excellency, President William Ruto, said, we have agreed to fight crime, human trafficking, and the rest of transboundary crimes that are making our region uncompetitive and giving us a bad name. I thank God that I am one of those citizens ruled by this kind of leaders. Because the information that says, utajenga ukuta. That's why they're striving to have restrictions and secured boundaries. Finally, but most importantly, Kenya reported at least 42 investigations into potential human trafficking in 2018, compared with at least 148 investigations that previous that year. It also handed out 98 convictions, including 30-year imprisonment of these people, and 2 convicted child traffickers. 61 of these convictions were in 2018. Katerina Walter once said, if you think you're too small to make an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musoli Gars. You had a good presentation. So let's go to Koyonzo boys. Adrian.
One love, one heart. Let's stay together and be alright. One love, one heart. Let's stay together and be alright. Once a wise man said, think twice before you leap. But I will tell you, think twice before you speak. Honorable Judge, affirmative side and negative side, I honor your presence. And to my first speaker's points, cultural intermarriages. Mr. Judge, I'm going to propose this motion that says, this House is of the opinion that East African citizens be allowed to move from one country to another without restriction. Why am I saying this? Because intermarriages. Intermarriages, Mr. Judge, you'll get that some women or some men may come from other countries to come into our country to promote intermarriages. This will help what? This will help our family grow. This will help our children be matured. Besides that, Mr. Judge, intermarriages. Somalia women may come to Kenya, for example, for a function, and you get that a man is in love with that woman from Somalia. What will they do? They will intermarry. And when they intermarry, will our family refuse?
Will our family refuse their marriage? No. Will our family refuse their marriage? No, Mr. Judge. And that will help what? That will help our family grow. So why? Why restrict movement from one country to another? Why? That's a rhetorical question for the affirmative side. Promote trade. Mr. Judge, you see, many of the Ugandan people, of the Ugandan citizens have come to our country, our lovely country, Kenya, bringing their bananas and selling to us. So that one, we are benefiting from them. If it could be restricted, Mr. Judge, can they come to our country and sell for us?
How now?
How, Mr. Judge? They will be killed between the borders. They will be killed. They will be arrested. Because they have what? They don't have any certificate to enter our country. They don't have any qualification. But if it could not be restricted, they could come, trade, and be happy with us. And to my next point, Mr. Judge, adaptation of new life skill. Mr. Judge, like South Africa.
Point of information.
Please hold your seat, my fellow
Point of
parliamentarians.
information.
Adaptation of new life skill, Mr. Judge.
Point of information.
Let me say, adopted.
Point of information.
Adopted.
You have said intermarriages. What is not?
You see, you don't have any kind of information just out to me. Please, when you are my fellow parliamentarian, please proceed. Mr. Judge, as I was saying to my points,
Order.
You will get that in Tanzania.
A point of order, Kaibili.
Let me say, like for example, Rayvani, Diamond, Zuitu, and many others have children. Their children are singers, bongo singers, Mr. Judge, when they come to Kenya and teach our children.
Point of information. Point of information. Point of information.
Yes, Musoli.
On creating songs, on being artists. Will that help our country, Mr. Judge? I will beg you, my fellow parliamentarians, please keep back. Please keep back.
Point of information.
And next point, to escape from hostile. Accepted?
Okay.
You're not taking my time to escape from hostile neighbors as Judge as I was saying. Why? Because you get that.
You know, you better have full information of what you're talking about. Because trade is also happening now. Even the restrictions are still there.
So please, my fellow parliamentarian, home your seat and go to my place. I have my protected right, please.
Movements.
Mr. That I was saying, to escape from hostile neighbors. Why? Why escape from hostile neighbors? Because they are killing us. Because they are harassing them, taking away their cattle. Somalian people have very well reared cattle, and other people, hostile neighbors, hostile communities may come into their land, steal their cattle. And do you want them to relax? Do you want to say that they are safe? My fellow parliamentarians, do you want to say that they will be safe? How will you feel?
Point of information. Point of information.
How will you feel?
Point of information.
Denied, and please warm your seat.
Point of information.
And to my point.
Point of information.
Like for example, Mr. Judge, in our very own Kenya, from Wajir, citizens from Mandera, they are suffering because of drought and famine. Where are they heading to? They're heading to other countries which are very well with climate, which they will make sure that they can. So, Mr. Judge, I will beg parliamentarian to please
point of information.
Speak facts and not beat around the bush.
Point of information.
Accepted.
Okay, you are saying, do you know that Somalia is not in East Africa, mind you? So please go understand what you're saying about. Go do your research very well and tell us Somalia, which
Oh, my fellow parliamentarian, where did you study in class 8? What are you saying? Oh my God. Oh, Mr. Judge.
Yes.
Nothing that I can but there.
Be aware that ignorance is not an offense. You tell us facts. Stop spreading
Mr. Judge, from all my points, I rest my case. Thank you.
Yes, most regards. I think Koyonzo boys are done their presentation. So most regards, can you the opposition? Most regards. Most regards.
Sorry for the technical glitch. We are back.
Yes, most regards, Sky Delete return. You are taking a bit too long.
Fear is the seductive power of goodness. Dead bodies tell no tales. I go by the name Valeria Tieno, and I am here to oppose the opinion that East African citizens be allowed to move from a country to another with no restrictions. Truth be told, it is easy to be led or stand in this crowd, but it takes courage to stand alone. This is the divided world, a world that sets every man for himself and God for one all. And trust is like virginity. Once broken, it can never be recovered. The first speaker, a piece of advice. The more you continue babbling around, moving in and out to other countries with no restrictions, remember that the state of being in open danger and innocent lives tear at stake. It is unless we do the something to stop this, then we will be facing the worst that has ever expected of us. Yes, you spoke about unity. Do you know unity exists? During the inauguration of the current president, Honorable William Ruto, from East African countries visited the country. So unity is not an issue you can stand out with at your feet as first point. You may preach about no restrictions in moving out of countries and at the back of your head countries, left and almost lost. Numerous dreams are buried in the day's abyss due to moral decades, and before we realize on it, it will be too late. And this is when most of you come wishing for the wheels to be horse. Yes, there was a speaker who said that when the other people come from our country, they ask the country a foreign exchange, kindly let me educate you. When the people, let me take an example. When somebody from Uganda comes to work in Kenya, his or her money will go back to his or her country. That is not in Kenya. So that one doesn't add up. Please get informed. Yes, you may never know what your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. So you're talking about restrictions. The restrictions are not of citizens. And I also like to ask you something. You go to school, right?
Yeah.
Do you just enter your school freely? Yes, that is your school. They're your teachers. But you just come from home with your school bag at your back, and you just enter the gate. Yeah, the teachers here. Yeah, these are our boys. Welcome. Do you just enter your school like that? No. Do you? Of course, you have to be checked because one, you have to sign at the gate, your admission, the place you come from, the date, and all those things. And
Musoli girls, you are getting lost. Musoli girls, you are. I think Musoli girls is getting a bit lost. Sorry, girls.
We are sorry for the technical glitch, and please bear with us. Yeah, we were on the topic that excuse me, Judge, may I proceed, please?
I'm going to do that. But you can continue it now.
Yes, Musoli.
Thank you. Yes, we were on the issue about when we are going back to school, we are always checked at the staffs were parents. And I was asking the question to Koyonzo boys, and they agreed that they are always checked at the gate. Didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yes. So why are you always checked at the gate, if I may ask? That is restriction. You get it? Yes. And there was this fellow wappy opponent of mine who, I think you should go for consultation to a teacher of English. You said we don't, what did he say? What is that? Don't you attend English classes? All I wanted to tell you is that COVID took 400 billion shillings, which is money enough for a yearly budget of all the 47 counties. You see, we can start setting up like hospitals, yes, schools, yes, all of them. So if you tell us what you're trying to say, no. My case is calm, but I am not at rest until the verdict is passed on that I am right. Thank you.
Koyonzo boys.
Present.
Present.
Present, Judge.
Koyonzo boys.
Present. Koyonzo boys present.
Anza kuongea.
Koyonzo boys.
Koyonzo boys present.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe
We go with the
Musoli
debate.
are having trouble or hitches with their connection, and we can give them a benefit of doubt and see if they will come back. If they won't manage, we will be forced to put an end to the debate. I see they are back, so let us try and bear with them and see if we can get out with something productive. Back to you, Mr. Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think Koyonzo boys, you can continue giving your contribution. We are on you.
Pardon, Judge.
Koyonzo boys, it's your turn. Are you experiencing some technical hitches?
Okay, let us continue.
Yes.
Different color, people, different
Do you have some
nation.
technical hitches?
No. Okay, let us begin. Different color, one people, different nations, one people. Honorable Judge, the affirmative side and the negative side, I salute you all again. I'm not strongly that states this has the opinion that East African citizens be allowed to move from one country to another without restrictions. Before I start with that, the fellow parliamentarian mentioned something about COVID-19, about how much money was spent by Kenya. So, if this restriction, we do not focus on restrictions, on replacing restrictions, we focus on how to build each other, come together as one nation, international, as East Africa, come together and build on how to allocate each country to remove its own fund and come up with something. She also spoke about something about schools, hospital facilities. So we all know that some countries, like Kenya, for instance, does not have enough hospital facilities. That we see, it's only now that they are just starting to treat cancer, but which is not also on the full level. They are still taking people to India. So if we come together as an East African community, stop focusing on restrictions and start focusing on how to come in this facility and coming. And then the third speaker also mentioned verb. Points. My second speaker spoke something about drought and famine. They're escaping from it. Okay, for example, people from Kenya, people who live in Nera, Wajir, they're experiencing some issues. For example, a man is called Hussein Omar, who lives in Wajir. On December 12th, he said that he has been a wife. Because they are not being accorded.
Point of order.
Accepted.
Please, you're not supposed to introduce to us new points. Tell us what is your stand in the debate. Thank you.
Family escaping drought and famine that are not attentive. Be attentive. I'm not introducing any people about escaping drought and famine. If they go from Wajir, go to a country like Somalia, go to a country like Uganda, they can get some assistance because, as you know, Kenya is not good for claim. hands together, we can less on pressure. You know, humanity is something that should still be existing among ourselves. Humanity is a very important thing. Why am I saying so? You see that, for example, right now we are facing challenges, right? People are densely populated in one area. So if we can, these restrictions are removed. Some people can come from one country to another using the population pressure. That's a simple thing to do. This can be also can also be seen from other countries out there. They have been doing what I'm saying, and they're really developing it at a very high rate. So I think we should stop sitting inside the box and think outside the box and think on how to improve on everything. We should start speaking facts and stop speaking fictions. Also, on adoption of the new skills, adoption of new skills. For example, let me speak about Kenya and Rwanda. Rwanda are good in doing some things that Kenya we can't do. Kenya are good in doing things that Rwanda can't do. So if we can come together, join hands, we can gain some skills from them, which will help us, which will help them. What have we done by doing that? We have all benefited. So, okay, about now on promoting trade. My second speaker, which I firmly appreciate, he spoke about promoting trade. So if these restrictions are placed there, how can someone who is finding it difficult to gain market here in Kenya because of competition and sees that he can gain market at Uganda, how can he go if there are restrictions? Let us help the common mwananchi, as you said. Those were your words, second speaker. And also, my second speaker talked about intermarriages, of which, let me clarify on his point. Intermarriages will help us because if someone from Kenya can intermarry with someone from another nation, will it not help us? He will. It will also help us in a very good way because it will be enabling our social relations. We'll be improving on our social relations and everything. This is what is happening in other countries. These first world countries are doing what I'm saying. And if we come together and support what I'm saying, East Africa, as a part of the African continent, can move from one place to another. It's high time East Africa is still being regarded as a part of the third world country. Let's get out of that. Okay? About national, international attacks. For example, someone from Kenya is undergoing the national attack, and there are restrictions. So are you saying that all Kenyans should just perish because Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi, Congo cannot accommodate them? Is that what should be happening? No. Here is the evidence of what I'm saying. You can cross over and come and see. And then, so we should come together. Stop focusing on restriction. Let's start focusing on something which will help us build ourselves. Also, we talked about security. We've seen the second speaker talked about Samia Suluhu, the honorable president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu. If during our new president, Honorable William Samoei Ruto's inauguration, if there were restrictions, will they be able to come to Kenya and support us during the inauguration? No. So that is all that I'm speaking fact. I'm speaking that all of us can see is happening. Stop basing on things that we cannot see. Let us understand. To that juncture, I would like to invite my opposing opponents from the other side to just join us and support this motion, because if only we support this motion, we'll go very, very far as a community, as the East African community. To that juncture, Mr. Judge, I do rest my humble case.
Suppose you're not getting it.
Yes, we are done.
And see you're getting it. Yes. Musoli girls, it's your turn.
First they laugh at you, then they ignore you, then they fight you. Then what's next? You win. They are too likely to declare us the winner. As you can see, our able opponents are trying to be logic, but I'm not illogic. I'll try to enlighten them. Come on, who wants to go to the days of fighting, politics, 2007 where people were dying? Who wants to go back there? Nobody. Who wants to go back to the processes where we had to wait for medical treatment? Who wants to go back there? Look at the staying public services. Who wants to stay in a bus stop for long hours so that he or she can go to places she wants to go? Look at the political instabilities. Look at different education systems. If you want us to have no restrictions, you mean that these people will be going from Uganda to Tanzania, from Tanzania to Kenya. Remember that you don't have the similar education systems. Do you expect that me, who have always been used to 8 for
Thank you.
to go to a place where I don't even know what CBC is?
Thank you.
What about health crisis, catastrophe? Look at Uganda, Ebola. We all are aware of this disease called Ebola.
Hello, the 2 minutes of your replay speeches are now up.
Where a person dies within 42 hours.
Hello. The replay speech takes 2 minutes and they are over. That is for the opposition. We can now get the replay speech from the opposition. The proposition, I mean. Replay speech from the proposition.
Okay. Different color, one people. Different color, one people. Honorable Judge, the affirmative side and the negative side. I accord you all. Okay, Mr. Judge. Has spoken well, very well. I've heard it. But what she's not speaking is logic. Because she spoke about international, about how Kenya as a country used a lot of funds in the COVID. If we only come together and stop focusing on restrictions and come together as an East African community, build on it, build more, one hospitals as a community will help each other. On schools, not only because you as a person is finding it difficult to study, to education system means that people, over 1 billion people from different communities, from different countries are finding it difficult. Don't make it seem all on you. You are not the center of attention. Also, about international attacks, you spoke about politics. It's not only about politics, and it's not only in 2007. It's not only about in 2007. Okay, during when they were releasing the about who won the 2022 election, was there no fight? Was there a fight? Yes, there was a fight. Not only about on 2007, we all witnessed a fight.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I would like all my opponents to collect all their lost points that I have firmly rebutted, cross over, and help us in supporting this motion, because the judge has already declared us the winners. To that point, Mr. Judge, I rest my case.
Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for creating time to debate this very integral issue. And I want to begin by congratulating each and every speaker who took his time to.
They had departed the first time. Same, I don't want to repeat.
We were cut short.
Should I say the Koyonzo boys rebutted twice? Yeah, rebutted twice. So Koyonzo boys rebutted twice. I'm sorry, the Koyonzo boys rebutted twice. So yes, we were cut off and they rebutted twice.
On which speaker?
The opposition have not rebutted, they were cut off. From the first speaker.
From? I'm not getting the point clearly. They debated twice on which specific speaker?
Okay. We were cut short. Our opponents Koyonzo boys rebutted twice. The imaginary speaker rebutted twice, and we were cut off during our rebuttal.
Which speaker exactly? You are offering a rebuttal to a certain speaker.
The fourth imaginary speaker.
We don't have the fourth imaginary speaker. That is the replay speech that is being given.
You are the one.
Yes.
You gave us the chance to speak. Opportunity only lost.
So we do not have a fourth imaginary speaker. After the three speakers have spoken, we have the replay speech. After the replay speeches, that marks the end of our debate. And that is why the replay speech started from the opposition side and was concluded by the proposition.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for putting in a good fight. I am quite impressed by your level of understanding of matters and issues of our current world. And I want to give some little insight about the motion and about what I've heard from you guys. I want to say that all of you are very good speakers. I've taken time to listen to you people, and I can say that you have a bright future. Now, talking about the East African citizens to be allowed to move from one country to another without restriction, I wanted you to talk about, in line with the provisions of the freedom of movement that is already there. Remember, we have an East African Community Parliament. I've not really gotten any of you giving the sessions or the recommendations of the East African Legislative Assembly on the movement of East African citizens among ourselves. Then I wanted the people who are proposing to also talk about the economic benefits, which they touched on, the improved integration. I had issues about people marrying, people intermarrying, the increased understanding for us to be together or for us to mingle as East Africans there is increased understanding. Those are some of the things that I've noted and some of the things that I expected to hear from you. On the opposition side, there was a very good fight over the issues of security, the security concerns, loss of control. When we allow people to come to our country, we do not know the nature of the kind of people we are allowing. Then I also expected you to tell us about the potential of overcrowding. When you look at the East African community countries, you see that our country has developed to a much higher level compared to other countries. So most people, if they're given that opportunity to freely move among these countries, you will find that many of them will want to come to a country that is somewhat developed. So that will lead to overcrowding and other issues. So I once again congratulate all of you for the opportunity, for taking the opportunity to debate today. And as I've said, all of you, I've listened to each and every speaker, and all of you are very good people. Your intimidations are tactical, and these are the things that make people win debates. We said that it will reach a time when everybody will understand or understands a language, and it will take something more to make a debater. And I'm seeing very good attributes from both of you. So I want the judge to, is the judge ready with the results? Are you ready with the results?
Yes, I'm ready, sir.
So I want you to give the results. Then we will have some comments from the patrons of the schools, and then we call it a day.
Okay,
Let us check on time.
Okay. So thank you very much, sir. So first I want to appreciate both Koyonzo boys and Musoli girls for their unrelenting contributions towards this motion. Being around to move from one country to another without restrictions. And I think the Koyonzo boys were proposing the motion, and Musoli girls were opposing the motion. And to start with, I have if we could start with Koyonzo boys, the people that were proposing the motion, the definitions of the ones citizens, ranging from citizens, restrictions. You did a good job, and that was commendable. Your points were also good. There are good points about it. Education. You didn't talk about the economy. And also, in the middle, also you sang a song, "Let's Get Together." I don't know how that was, but anyway, it has denied you some marks because it didn't link with the previous the point that was accompanying that song. So precisely, Koyonzo boys, that was a good job. Then if we go to Musoli girls, though they didn't define the terms in our motion, the references were a bit effective to the motion. The references the first presenter made really opened the motion, and that gave it some good introduction. So you earned some points from that. Then also your points were good about domestic production, the issue of unemployment, the issue of trafficking. I also heard about intermarriages. That was a commendable job. Then, but there was also there's one point I heard about regulations. The one that the side of Musoli girls gave about schools regulations about you're not around to just get in without some regulations. I think on that you ought to have told us about what are the consequences of not having regulations rather than looking at the benefits of having regulations, because on your side you are opposing the motion. So I think I can now give the results, Kaidri.
Yes, you're waiting for the results.
Yeah. So I can give the results?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you very much. So both teams had a good fight. You gave it your all. So Koyonzo boys, you've got 29 marks. Then Musori girls, you got 32. Thank you very much. So we give it to Musori girls. Yeah.
Thank you. That was our judge for today. Thank you for your participation. Each and every party, we say in debate that there's no winner and no loser. We all participated well, and congratulations. I want to take this opportunity to ask the patron for Musoli girls to give a comment. Patron Musoli girls.
I'm very proud of my girls. Actually, they did thorough preparation, and I want to thank the East African Debating Committee, AMANI Club, for giving us this great opportunity to showcase our talent. As you can see, my girls are ecstatic. And we also want to thank Koyonzo boys. We also want to thank Koyonzo boys. They were our worthy opponent. You know, a win among the equals is a win. So we thank you very much. Next meeting will be physical. Looking forward to meeting.
Thank you. Thank you to patron Koyonzo boys. Patron Koyonzo boys. Patron Koyonzo.
Okay. Good evening, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm Jambo. Koyonzo, I think I want to thank the both teams.
Give us a moment. We are projecting our screen. Thank you. Okay, thank you. They are back. We are rejoining. Please give us a moment. It's taking so long.
Good work. I also want to thank Musoli for putting up a great fight. I think it has been enjoyable. I would like us to do more research as we go to debate so that next time when we meet, we do something very nice. Otherwise, nice work.
Thank you. I see Silas. Do you have anything to say?
Yes.
Let's kindly mute Musoli.
Yes,
Musoli
of
girls,
course.
let's kindly mute. Musoli girls, let's kindly mute.
Mute your mic. Mute the mic so that you
listen. Silas.
For me, what I have is to thank Musoli girls. I am a teacher at Musoli girls. I thank them for the preparation and the patron. That is good work. Let us prepare to meet in Jadala, probably as from next week. Thank you and congratulations to all the teams.
Yes. Thank you. I want to take this opportunity once more to thank each and everyone. From us at EASDC and Amani Club, we want to say that we appreciate the effort that you're putting in and we are very grateful. Let us meet next week on another round of our debates. Thank you and may God bless you.
Thank you too.